Hi, friends. Welcome into another wonderful episode. Sarah and I's conversation is all around another health challenge. So, this is part of the series. If you're new, welcome. We're so excited. This is a continuation, and we're going to highlight everything head tension. So, stay tuned. You're listening to the Essential Oils Scoop podcast. We're here to help you confidently using essential oils in your daily life. No fluff, just real talk and practical tips. Each episode brings you education, inspiration, and of course, our scoop of the day. Let's elevate your wellness one drop at a time. So, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is the second time we're recording this episode because I had to abruptly go and handle something. So, we never finished it. So, we just decided, you know what? Let's just record it again for you.
And when we were talking about this, I was like, what did we say the last time? It was good stuff. Like, did we have good stuff? We had really good stuff. Like,
It was a
anyway,
good conversation.
it really
Uh-huh.
was. Hopefully we can replicate it, or maybe even, everything happens for a reason, and maybe it's just meant for us to touch on something a little bit different. So let's dig in. Let's dig
Right.
in.
So, head tension. Sarah, if you don't mind rereading, because this is what happened the first time. She read the whole description. And it does a really good job at just expanding your own awareness around this topic. Health challenges, we all have them, but today specifically head tension. And I think there's going to be some light bulb moments of ooh, where is this tension actually coming from?
Well, yeah, because I know we've talked about this, um, but like playing that game of, is it a hormone headache? Is it a
Mhm.
dehydration headache? Is it a lack of sleep headache? Is it a blood sugar headache? Is my blood sugar really low? Am I hangry?
Mhm.
Like, where is it stress? Is it physical stress from my neck? Like, we play this game. Do you ever play this? I don't know if anybody else does, but I play this game all the time with myself. Ooh, I have a headache or a head tension or whatever is coming on, and I'm like, huh, did I drink enough water yesterday and today? Did
You have the
I?
checklist, like that mental
Yeah,
checklist of like,
yeah.
okay, did it come from here, from there? Where can I like follow the trail?
Is it
Mm-hmm.
a hormone one? Because like sometimes I'm like, what part of my cycle am I on? Is it hormone related, And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just play this game all the stinking time of like, where does this come from and what is it? And the thing we don't talk about very much is the emotional part that plays into it, right? We
Mm-hmm.
look at I'm guilty of this. I go straight to, is it dehydration? Did I drink enough water? That's my first number one question I ask myself. Did I drink enough water in the last 24 hours? That's my number one question. Probably because I have had massive issues in the past with dehydration and not drinking enough water. But 10-ish years ago, I had massive issues with this and having really bad, to the point of like thinking I was having a stroke because I was
Oh my Lord. I
dehydrated
am
so
so glad you're
much.
not struggling with that anymore. Holy
No,
heck.
because I learned to like
You learned the
love
hard
water.
way
Yeah, yeah,
as I
it was
drink my
bad.
water because I'm like, oh gosh.
My face would actually go numb. And so I actually went to the ER this one day because I was like slurring and thinking I was having a stroke. And so we went straight to the ER. They did an MRI and a CT scan, and they did all the things, right? A CT scan. And and it just happened to be, I lived in the little town of Nowhere, Idaho, in Malad, Idaho at the time. And he just happened to be the doctor that was covering the ER, was a neurologist. Just happened to be his time to come
Thank
and
you,
do it. He would,
Jesus.
every, I think like 12 weeks, he rotated in. And this just happened to be the one time of his 12 weeks that he was rotating in to this little small hospital. Anyway, he was there. We did the CAT scan, we did all the things, and he was like, diagnosed me with silent migraines. So it's not the pounding, it's not that, and it's not the flashing lights, it's not the visual disturbances. It's very silent, but it makes your face go numb. And so I was having numbness and tingling and thinking it was a stroke. And all they did was give me an IV of fluids, and it was caused by dehydration.
I need to remind myself to breathe. What?
Yeah, yeah. This was several, like probably, I say 10, but it's probably like more like 12 or 15 years ago.
Thank
Um,
Jesus he was there. Thank you for the diagnosis. Thank you for understanding what it was. And thank you, Jesus, for our oils and awareness around how
and I didn't
powerful
have oils
hydration
then.
is.
This was
Oh yeah,
before
that's
oils.
true.
This was
This is
before
before.
oils. This was before everything. This was the what kind of was a little bit of a catalyst that started some of my natural health journey. This was the one of the little things, and then there was a
Hmm.
bigger thing that happened later, but this was one of the
Hmm.
beginning things that started this whole like shift of everything. This is when I
Oh
first
my
started going
gosh.
to a chiropractor. This is when I first started getting into a more holistic way of life. This was the beginning. This was the teeny tiny little bit of the beginning for me of what started it. So when we talk about head tension, I understand. So why do I go? I go immediately, am I dehydrated? The minute I start to feel anything, am I dehydrated?
Hmm.
Because it was scary. It was super scary. Like I'll go into detail with Vicky later because there's a
Hmm.
whole lot of trauma that went into it, but
Hmm.
just know that there's a checklist in my mental health that I go through going, okay, here's my health checklist. Mentally I go through it. Is it these things? But I want you to also remember there's emotional to all of this. There's an emotional side that I was not aware of at that time and I wish I had
Hmm.
been.
Yeah. I know all the hindsight, all the awareness we have now, we're like, oh man, if only we knew that for younger Sarah, younger Vicky, in those
Mhm.
different stages of life, how beneficial this awareness would have been. But you know what? In perfect timing, like we're all on our own journey, but what we're going to share offline, sorry guys, we love you, but sometimes we don't share all the things because this is the World Wide Web. But I understand that because anytime I got flank pain, I immediately like, okay, Vicky, are you dehydrated? Your kidneys are saying something. And now it's like put lemon in your water, get your oils for your kidneys, do what you already know and drink that water. But the the nervous system is like triggered
Yeah,
because of that. So, okay,
there's some
without going
trauma
further
around it.
into it,
Yeah.
I
But
hear you and I get it.
as we're talking about this head tension and as we talk about the emotional properties, I am actually going to tell you some of the things that I was going through at the time that are so prevalent in this paragraph. So let's get into it. Head tension, no matter how extreme, often reflects cumulative tension, mental, emotional, and physical. These patterns may develop from overstimulation, um, internalized pressure or emotional stress that hasn't been fully processed or expressed. Perfectionism, we'll talk about that in a second. Self criticism, the push to meet unrealistic expectations can add further strain. When the nervous system stays in a heightened state of vigilance, the resulting muscle tension and mental overload may prolong or intensify head pain. Persistent head tension may signal the cost of chronic self containment. When there is no room to feel, soften, or slow down, these symptoms are not just physical, they can often reflect a deeper call for relief, realignment, and release.
How many
So,
boxes, friends, did you silently check off just now? And there's no shame around that. No shame at all.
all of
But
them, like,
when you were reading in my head, I'm like, yep, uh-huh. Not as much anymore, but yes. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know what you were wanting to kind of anchor into and highlight for a moment for you. So I would love for the listeners to get a little bit of that.
well, the obviously perfectionistic. Like I know I have a huge issue with perfectionism. Like it has been part of my core since I was a child, right? Like this is
Mhm.
not something I can I'm recovering. Like it's a lifelong of thing. But the potential emotional roots talk about mental overactivity, persistent internal pressure, difficulty releasing control or softening perfectionism, patterns perfectionistic patterns, um, Emotional tension stored in the head, jaw, or neck, overwhelm from unprocessed feelings. Like that's, yep, me too, me too. Or
We've raised our hands, by the way, if you didn't see. Join us on YouTube.
unmet expectations. Do we have high
Uh-huh.
expectations for ourselves? Is this what plays into our perfectionism? I'm just saying. Um, Fear of letting go, resting, or being unproductive.
I'm
We're
going
going
to
to talk
put
about
on
this
some
one.
rose right now as you're saying all these things.
Unspoken grief or frustration that remains unresolved. Okay, so those are like some of the emotional um root causes. I will fully admit that I'm a recovering and still recovering from perfectionism. If I can't get it done right and perfect the first time, I won't even try. It's not
Mhm.
even procrastination, it's perfectionist. I don't even know. I want to like call it like perfection crastination or something. I want to come up with a new word
Think of
for
a
it.
word. There must be a word
Yeah.
you can
If
create
you
from
come up
that.
with a
Yeah.
word, like drop it in the comments, make a comment or whatever, because I would love to hear what you think of a great word for being a perfectionist and procrastination and put it all together because that's what I am. Like this is why I procrastinate. Not because it's necessarily hard, but if I can't get it done perfect the first time, I don't want to try. Like
Mhm.
this is just it's what seriously holds me back. But the other
Mhm.
thing, resting or being unproductive, I have this, and I think I've talked to Vicky about this once before. Okay, in my house, you couldn't like my dad saw you sitting on the couch doing nothing or just watching TV or just even just sitting. What are you doing? Why aren't you doing something? You had to be productive in order to live in my house. You had to be doing something. And um the idea that like you're not being productive during like sunlight hours was just inconceivable.
Inexcusable.
Oh, yeah. We had this saying, and I don't even know what it means. Like I don't know, but my grandmother used to say it. So my father said it to me, and it's always been a thing. Get old Lawrence off your back.
Oh, you told me this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You told me this.
Get old Lawrence off your back. Why is Lawrence on your back today? I don't even know who Lawrence is. I have no idea. It's probably some
This
neighbor of
fictitious
like of my
character.
grandmother or something. Like, I don't even know what it means. But it was like this thing. And I can say it to my aunt. I have a 96-year-old aunt. If I said it to my father to this day or my 96-year-old aunt, they would say, "Oh, we need to get up and can't sit here anymore." Like this is like how ingrained this phrase was. So this idea of not of resting or not being productive is like I don't even nap. Like my husband will like take a little cat nap or something, a little short nap. I don't nap.
Mhm.
Like napping is for like was forbidden at my house unless you were like in bed. You don't just like curl up on the couch and fall asleep. You
Your
are
nervous system's like, this is a hard no. Like, don't even try. It's a hard no.
I have trained myself now on Sundays that it's okay if I take a little cat. It's okay if I take like a little hour nap.
Nice. Nice.
But like it's taken me 40 something years to be able to take a nap because that is not productive. We are not doing things. And it's taken me years and years to be okay with just sitting on my phone for a few minutes when somebody walks in the door. I put away my phone like I'm in trouble.
Hmm.
Not because I'm not doing anything like bad on my phone. I'm scrolling Pinterest.
I've
Like,
noticed that oh my, that is just so interesting that you're mentioning this. I noticed that a couple days ago, like okay, I admit I have too many tabs open on two screens a lot of the time. I multitask when I know I should not multitask. Oliver was coming in and I had this urgency of like decluttering my screen because of like, I don't know, my brain and my nervous system's like, huh, you can't have any, like, you're not being productive. Like, are you kidding me?
hmm?
It was wild. It was just like an instinctual, oh, I got to clean it up. Weird. It's
Yeah,
interesting that you
because you're not
mentioning
even
that.
doing anything
Not at all. Not at all.
like anything that would be like embarrassing or anything that you wouldn't want somebody to look over your shoulder. If somebody looked over my shoulder and saw my Pinterest board, I'd be like, most of my Pinterest boards are public. Like you can
You
come
should be like,
follow me on
look at
Pinterest.
this.
I know.
Yeah.
Guess what? If you follow me on Pinterest, you're gonna see like a gajillion boards. Like like love
Yeah.
crafting world, like whatever. Anyway, it's this idea of this is where some of our head tension, our fears are, this is where some of it comes from,
Hmm.
of that I'm not being productive enough. I'm not doing enough. And so unspoken grief or frustration. So that's what I want to talk about for a second too. When I
Yeah.
first got into emotion code, and if you don't know what emotion code is, maybe we'll have to do another episode about emotion code at some point. But
I think we should. We should.
emotion code is a really good modality for helping people to process emotions and to get it out of their bodies.
Mhm.
Okay.
And like
So I,
identify it
yeah,
to get to remove it. To not remove, like to release it, whatever the word
yep,
is.
to release
Hmm.
it. Yeah. And so I got certified years ago, years and years and years ago. I want to say, I want to say it's
Years,
been 15,
people, many, many.
15 or 16 years now. It's been a long time. Um, right around the same time period. Like, remember I said this one little thing was the beginning trigger, and then we had this other trigger. Like, these are all parts of this. And then I got into emotion code. When I first got into emotion code, I was doing a session. My husband learned how to do emotion code as well about the same time I did. Um, and he was working on me. And the emotion frustration came up time after time after time after time. I probably had like something like 132 emotions of frustration in my body over this time period that he was frustration. So when it says this unspoken grief or frustration that remains unprocessed, and now we're going back to head tension.
Yeah.
Do you see why I was having like such massive things that were called a silent migraines all the time? Because it was all internal and all of these things were playing a huge role in my life at this time. So I wanted to give you that picture of what I went through. So like if you're having some of these things and people can't figure it out of what, doctors are like, "Oh, you don't have this, you don't have this, you must just have this,
Hmm.
you've got migraines. Okay, well, take an Imitrex and call it a good day." But I'm here to tell you, like, there's a deeper underlying thing. And if your scans are coming back and like everything looks good in your brain and there's no like warning signs of anything else, there's no other physical reason. I want you to really consider some of these emotional players into your life. Are you going through some of these things?
Yeah. I wouldn't categorize it as a phantom issue. There are phantom pains. There are phantom issues, but what I'm here to tell you is that because it didn't show up in the scan, your blood work, this and that, but you are feeling that within your body, I can almost guarantee you, if you connect with the right person, if you do the emotion code, if you have that moment to really dig in inward, there will be a reason and you will make that connection. Our
Hmm.
bodies are always signaling to us what we need.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just don't listen or are aware of it, but it's always signaling. And that's
Yeah.
what Sarah's saying.
Yeah. Get, start processing through some of these things. So we're going to go through
Mhm.
the look deeper questions. Then we're going to jump
Yes.
into our favorite oil that we've chosen for this. And we're
Mhm.
going off of like the idea of perfectionism because
Yes.
I feel like a lot more people can resonate with that more than maybe, um,
I
you
mean,
know,
the
the not.
underlying emotions, we didn't go off of that. We are going to anchor into perfectionistic because that's what we want to do and we can because this is our podcast. But tense, frustrated, suppressed, judged, agitated, rigid, drained, closed off, self-critical, anxious, overwhelmed, overstimulated, confused, y'all, this all fits in to this conversation as well. So I know I just rapid fired you. If one of those is like dinging, like, yes, look into that for you. And how can you look into it? I'm so glad you asked. Get yourself the book. Love you.
You ever feel like Vicky and I are on a broken record where we always are like, just get yourself the book, person, listener, friend, whatever you are, human. Get yourself
Hmm.
this essential emotions book. It's gonna rock your world.
Yeah, that or
Okay.
app. Figure it out. Okay, look
Yeah.
deeper.
Let's
Look
get into
deeper.
those look deeper questions because they're so good, you guys.
They
They're
are.
so freaking good.
Mhm.
Am I putting too much pressure on myself to hold everything together?
Yes.
Have I been pushing through mental and emotional strain just to keep functioning?
Mm.
Yeah. What expectations, my own or others, feel especially heavy right now?
Yes. This one, I feel the longer you're blessed in this world, the older you get, I think the more real this feels.
Is there an emotion I have been holding in that needs to be felt or expressed? That's a good one. That's a good one to really reflect and think about.
Yeah.
Where have I lost alignment with what I truly need, want, or feel? So I'm going to read that one more time because that one's so good. Where have I lost alignment with what I truly need, want, or feel?
I feel like I get to do a social post about that. That was perfect. And how you just wanted to read it a second time? Yes.
Yeah. Where have you lost
Hmm.
some alignment in your life? I think that's so good.
It
And then
is.
what kind of tension, mental, emotional, or physical, has been building up and what might keep help me to release in a way that feels safe and supportive? So what kind
I
of
love
tension?
all these questions. And all these
Yeah.
questions are meant to guide you to your own answers that you have.
Yeah, because it's different. My answers are not going to be the same as Vicky's and they're not going to be the
No,
same as yours. You
no, not at
need
all.
you need to sit with these questions and go, oof, did you feel a prick there when we were talking about those questions? Because I know I did. There's a lot of those that I should be like, oh,
I felt
hey.
called out.
Yeah.
And, you know, so
Mhm.
friend, I'm laughing because this is so good. And by the way, take two of this episode, totally worth it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think
Ah,
it's is better.
yeah, I think this one is better for sure. Like it's awesome. Okay, so anyways, we want to anchor into Cypress. Cypress essential oil. It is the essential oil of motion and flow. So I want to read a bit to you. And follow along. It's in on page 63. You're welcome. This powerful oil creates energetic flow and emotional catharsis. Stagnant energies are brought into motion through the fluid energy of this oil. Cypress works in the heart and mind, creating flexibility. Just with those sentences alone, why wouldn't you want the help of Cypress to create that flexibility when you're feeling rigid and constrained and over all the things, right? All the things that we just spoke about. Cypress teaches the soul how to let go of the past by moving with flow of life. The oil is especially indicated for individuals who are mentally or emotionally stuck, stiff, rigid, tense, over striving, or have perfectionistic tendencies. This hard driven stems from fear of the need to control. And that's a big one for a lot of people. Again,
Mhm.
no shame around it, just the awareness. The individual tries to force things in life rather than allowing them to unfold naturally. Used to do that a lot.
Yeah. There's a
And
lot of people who do things out of the need to control because when other things in your life are chaotic, you can control certain things. And so you control those, you like hyper control on certain things and fixate on certain things to control them more when things are even more out of control in other parts of your life.
mhm.
So I know, and
It
I know
gives
we've
you
talked about this.
that false sense of safety when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think you're controlling the world outside of you, and in reality, you have no control over that. The work
Mhm.
needs to be done from within. It's crazy how you trick your nervous system in thinking that momentarily, because it's that moment of time in between feeling out of control to fixing the outside world around you to like, oh, everything's fine. When in, no, honey, that is very short-lived.
I was rage cleaning the other day. Like rage cleaning. I was furious with something that was happening, and my kitchen floor looked amazing, by the way. And all my hardwood floors that we have in this new house look impeccable right this second, because I was like could not control what was happening. I could hear what was happening because I was so angry. I couldn't talk to the customer service person that I needed to. So I had my husband do it because I was not going to be nice. Like
Mm-mm.
I was going to use words that I would probably regret. And it's probably just this poor worker just following some dumb script and doesn't know how to like think for themselves. And so I was
Uh-huh.
very passionate and angry. So I'm listening to what's happening on the phone with this customer service issue. And I'm rage cleaning because that is what I could control at the moment. I couldn't control what was happening on the phone. I couldn't control the outcome of what was happening, but I could control my mop. I could control my broom.
Yeah.
Like these are the things.
Uh-huh.
And I had a really good friend who grew up and she ended up going to a foster family, and like she had some really hard things that she went through as a child. And her room was always so freaking clean. Like she was a teenager and like her room was spotless, like so spotless. And now understanding her, I love her. Like she is still one of my dearest and bestest friends to this very day. I just love her to pieces. Like it makes me cry how much I love her. Like I just feel so much love for this girl. And knowing that that was how she was trying to control the uncontrollable things in her life that was happening, and couldn't control everything, but she could control this. This is the one thing she could do. She could make sure her room was perfectly clean. She could make sure everything had its place and everything was tidy, because this she could not have as a chaos zone because everything else was chaos. And
That
like
resonates. But I understand. I get that. I
when
get that.
everything is out of control in the rest of your life, this is the one thing you can control. And so a lot of times we try to control how our house looks or how our desk looks or some little micro thing, because it's an expression of like, there's so much chaos going on in here or out in the world. I have to have some place that's
I need to
not.
fix something. I need full control over something visible, tangible in the now. Yeah, I get it. So I
So
want to read one more
if you're
paragraph.
stuck in those situations where this is what you're stuck in, I want you to really, really use this Cypress. Like
Mhm.
really use the Cypress, especially if you're like trying to control things that are out of control, trying to be perfect, try or feeling stuck or even frustrated or overstimulated.
Yeah.
Try using some Cypress.
Yeah. It won't hurt, but you know that. You're listening to this podcast because you love essential oils and you love listening to our banter. But let me finish reading the description. Cypress encourages individuals to cast aside their worries and let go of control so they can enjoy the thrill that comes from being alive. It reminds individuals that damnation is simply the discontinuation of growth and development, and invites them to step out of the way and allow life to flow freely or without compulsion. Cypress shows how to have perfect trust in the flow of life.
Love that. I love
Yeah.
I love the idea that damnation is simply a discontinuation of growth and development. Think about that. Like, think about like that would be damnation. Not being able
Hmm.
to grow, change, fix, do anything differently in your life. If you were stuck doing the exact same
Except
thing for the rest of your life, day
that's like
after day.
Groundhog's Day on the of a worse day that no, 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 thank you. And no one's meant to live their life that way. I'm a firm believer in that. And I know you are
No,
too.
no, you are meant to grow. You're meant to change. You're meant to have choices. Like that's what this world is, this life is all about. Is for you and your personal development and your growth and changing and learning and evolving who you
Hmm.
are. It
Yeah.
is not meant for you to sit back and just be like, ah, well, same old, same old.
Hmm.
That's damnation. That's hell.
Hmm. That's the hell on earth. And we're not meant to live our life that way. Our one chance. here as human. I took the last sentence in my brain. Cypress shows how to have perfect trust in the flow of life. And I took flow of life as in like God's guidance, like trust. God knows the how, always has the how.
Mhm.
That's not our job to stress about, freak out about, try to create. That's how I read it. And I love the fact that we, Sarah and I, including you beautiful souls that are listening right now, have the ability to anchor into Cypress. So, how would I use this? Because I know we need to wrap this up. How would I use it? I would diffuse the living bejesus out of it. Period. I mean, I've applied it topically. Yes, absolutely. I think we did another episode of how to, like, the physical benefits, not just in this conversation. And if not, then we'll do one. We'll totally look. But diffusing this oil, again, diffusing essential oils is one of the fastest way to pivot and make that shift in the moment.
Mhm.
Sarah, how would you, what's your scoop? What's your final thoughts? Like, we could be here for another 20 minutes easily. This is such a great conversation.
So good. So obviously I am a diffuser girl, right? Like
Mhm.
diffusers are going in
Yeah.
my house all over, right? Like I am a diffuser girl. I love diffusing this with wild orange.
Yeah.
I love it. It is one of my favorite combinations, actually, is to diffuse this with wild orange. I also am gonna put a plug in for like intimacy, wild orange and cypress for intimacy, bar none, amazing. But like this is the quickest way to really get out of your head. Like, are you stuck in your own head? You stuck with that tension, that gripping tension of like, I can't. Have you ever felt like I can't make a decision? Like you're just stuck in your
Yes.
life. I can't move because I don't know what to do about this. And then right? And you're
Mhm.
like in this like
It's the
rat race
hamster
in your
wheel.
head.
Like you're just on
Yeah.
repeat. It's like the AR loop. You can't
This
get out.
is the fastest way to get yourself out of it.
Mhm.
Put in some cypress, put in some wild orange together because wild orange is the abundance, right? Like where
Yeah.
you're not in that scarcity mode. Sometimes if you're in scarcity mode, you can't get out of that either and you're like stuck, right? So
Yeah.
this is abundance. We're going to have abundant good thoughts, happy thoughts, nourishing good thoughts and moving us
Mhm.
out of this like I can't start because if I don't, it's not going to be perfect and it's not going to be the best way I can. This is going to get you out of your head. Stop at
Mhm.
that hamster wheel, the thought, whatever rat race you've got going on, and it's going to move you out. It's going to help you to flow, get back into your groove. And it might take some nice deep breathing exercises. Do that as it's diffusing and
Mhm.
really just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to turn off the phone. I'm going to turn off the computer. I'm going to whatever. I'm just going to go sit by myself for 5 minutes and I'm just going to write everything that's coming to my head right this second.
Mhm.
Allow it to flow out of you so that
Mhm.
you can now that that's like a thought dump, right? Like you're just throw flowing thoughts, get it out.
Mhm.
Then you can return to whatever you need to do because you've already just dumped this rat race out.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the quickest way to get your mind back on track of what you need to do.
Yes. I fully agree. I fully agree. And it was interesting when you were talking, when you were explaining some of the emotions, like that might be going going through your head. I'm like, those are the thoughts that anchor into that emotion of being perfectionistic. That is what's
Mhm.
coming and blocking. And I'm like, this is how you have been able, this is one of the tools that you've been able to lean into with Wild Orange and Cypress together to quickly have that shift. It's not a
Yes.
fake one. It's not you faking it to make it. No, it is a powerful shift of like, snap out of it. Come on,
Yeah.
try it.
It is the best. So I'm gonna say that you're gonna want to do I got my wild orange right here. You want to do 5 drops of wild orange and 3 drops of cypress in your diffuser and go for it. Like just
Mhm.
let it diffuse. Let it diffuse in the whole house. It actually smells really good together. So try it.
It does. It does. Friend, thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, next episode might be rosemary. You're just going to have to come back and find out.
Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode and are feeling inspired to dive in even deeper into the world of essential oils. Want exclusive offers, content, and recipes? Click on the newsletter link in the show notes today. Looking for even more wellness inspiration? Dive into our previous episodes and stay in the loop by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the Essential Oils Group Podcast. Thanks for being a part of our Essential Oil family. And remember, hit the subscribe button to be notified every time we upload a brand new episode.